If you've told yourself that this year has to be different, but underneath the motivation you feel fragile, uncertain, or quietly behind, this episode is for you because what you're feeling isn't failure. It's the weight of being an artist in a very loud, very saturated world. Welcome to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast, where artists of all kinds come to fuel their passion, sharpen their skills, and thrive in their creative lives. I'm your host, Lara life and creativity coach and fellow artist, here to support you on your artistic journey. Whether you're a performer, writer, visual artist, or any kind of artist, this is the space for real talk, practical advice, and inspiring stories. Subscribe and join us each week for more inspiration and actionable insights to fuel your artistry. Let's dive in and get inspired. Welcome to Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist. I'm Lara, life and creativity coach, professional performer and author, and today I want to walk you through 3 lies and talk about these 3 lies that quietly could be holding you back, because they certainly hold back a lot of artists. Not habits, not productivity issues, but beliefs. Beliefs that sound logical, beliefs that feel protective, but over time, they erode confidence, clarity, and your creative momentum. So this conversation is especially important right now, early January, when artists are motivated and hopeful, and also usually a little tender. So, if fear, doubt, or comparison feel louder than usual, nothing has gone wrong. Let's name what's actually happening. Now, before we go further, I want to place this episode in context. The ideas we're talking about today didn't come from a single insight or moment. They come from years of walking alongside artists who are trying to stay grounded in a world that's become louder, faster, and more demanding. And that's why my upcoming book, Audacious, Artistry, Reclaim Your Creative Identity and Thrive in a Saturated World, was built. The book isn't motivational. It's a framework, although it is motivating. It's a framework and a way of understanding yourself as an artist when talent alone doesn't feel like it's enough to steady you anymore. And if this conversation resonates, the book is simply the longer version of it. And you can find it and pre-order at larabiancapilcher.com/book. All right, let's talk about the first lie. Lie 1. If I were truly talented, it wouldn't feel this hard. Now, this lie shows up quietly. You're working, you're showing up, you're thinking deeply about your craft, and yet it feels hard. So your mind fills in the gap. If I were really good, this wouldn't take so much effort. Other people seem to move faster. Maybe I'm forcing something that isn't meant for me. And what's wild is the other day I posted something on my threads and it went like this: Dear artist, you're not behind. You're just carrying more than anyone sees. And I hear you and I get it. And then some artists started pouring out their hearts to me. For example, one said, wearing every single hat to make a living off art is so hard. And I'm so tired of doing it alone. And then somebody else said, it's a hard thing to feel unseen when so much effort goes into every part of our craft. It's even harder when we see others so effortlessly succeed in being seen. And I just responded to say, I know this journey well, so I want to speak into that space, and that's a lot of why I'm doing this episode. Here's what I want you to hear clearly. Difficulty is not a verdict of your talent. For artists, difficulty often increases when growth is real. You're stretching, you're refining your voice, you're working without guarantees. That friction isn't evidence that you're doing something wrong. It's evidence that you're doing something that matters. In a saturated world, effort gets misread as inadequacy. It isn't. Struggle is not disqualification. It's development under pressure, and it's real-time life as an artist, and it's just the reality. We kind of think when I finally make it, all the challenges will go away. Well, those of you listening who have had levels of success know that that's not true. The challenges, the identity struggles, all of that around our art, it's still there. It's part of living in this really busy, saturated world. And even before it was saturated and it was slower art, there were challenges then too. So, lie 1, just to recap, if I were truly talented, it wouldn't feel this hard. Not true. Lie 2 that I'm calling out is, if I slow down, I'll be forgotten. I have lived this lie out until I was finally free. It is subtle. This one sits deeper, not in your thoughts, but in your body. And it sounds like this. If I don't keep producing, I'll disappear. If I pause, someone else will take my place. I can't afford to rest. So artists keep going, not from inspiration, but from fear. I've heard a West End musical director in a workshop, somebody said, I just recently had a break and I returned to it. And he said to her, this is a competitive industry. You can't afford to take breaks. And I thought, oh my goodness, like, there it is right there. Yes, we need to train and we need to be show fit if that category fits you. But you can afford to rest. You can afford to take time off. You can afford to do other things with your life. But yes, recognize the real world value of being show fit or being ready or showing up in the world. If you're showing up in that way competitively, you need to actually be ready for that. But at the same time, there is a lie. If I slow down, I'll be forgotten. So artists keep going, not from inspiration, but from fear. And here's the truth. Pauses don't erase artists. Disconnection from your art does. I've also heard Hollywood producers say things like, if you're really desperate and you're constantly caught up in the Hollywood cycle, it comes across in your work. It's better to go and have a holiday in Spain and completely disconnect, Spain or wherever it is, come back not wanting it so bad, and then you'll probably book it. And I've heard that actually for actors in documentaries. So there's the other side of it too, where they're saying, get out of here, take a break, you look desperate. So be careful what you listen to, because rest doesn't make you invisible, but losing touch with your inner rhythm does. Constant output might look like discipline on the outside, but internally, it often fragments identity, where the work keeps happening, but you feel less present inside it, like smashing out one self-tape after another, and you're just getting it done, and you just feel like, I'm not really doing my best work. That's not helpful either. Now, artists don't disappear because they rest. They disappear when their work loses contact with who they really actually are. That truth, that authenticity, that vulnerability, that humanity. Rhythm sustains artists. Panic exhausts them. Now, I want to pause here and offer something supportive. If you're listening to this and thinking, yes, but I still feel invisible and stuck and frustrated inside all of this, I've created a free 30-minute artist masterclass called the Artist Momentum Reset. Funny name. When you go to the site, you'll see it's called Stop Begging for Scraps, because it's about mindset and a mindset shift. But don't let that put you off. Don't think that it's not for you, because it's an artist momentum reset. It's a short on-demand video you can watch in your own time. You'll need a pen and paper to do the questions and the reflections. It's not a live session, so there's no pressure to show up anywhere in person with me, even though some of you I know would love that. It helps you understand why effort alone isn't restoring confidence for so many artists right now, and how to reset your momentum for this new year without forcing yourself into burnout. And you can access it at larabiancapilcher.com/masterclass for free. Think of it as a gentle companion to this conversation, not a fix, just support. Right, lie 3 that I'm calling out. Someone else doing it well means that there's less room for me. This is the lie oversaturation feeds. You scroll, you compare, you see someone else's success, and suddenly your own work feels smaller. It says the room is filling up. The timing window has closed. There's only space for a few. And here's the reframe. Your work doesn't compete on volume, it actually resonates on a frequency. And I'm not talking about anything woo-woo here. It just means that art doesn't land because it's the loudest. It lands because it's truthful. When artists start chasing what's already working for others, they dilute the very thing that makes their work meaningful. Your voice isn't meant to outproduce anyone. It's meant to sound like you, and that can't be replaced. So where you can take inspiration from others, you should still allow that inspiration to speak into and inform your authentic artist voice rather than mimicking and copying and not trusting your artist voice. Now, if you zoom out, these 3 lies share the same root. They all convince you that worth is conditional. Conditional on ease, conditional on visibility, conditional on comparison. But the truth is so much steadier than that. You're not failing. You're navigating a noisy creative era. And the work of an artist right now isn't just to create. It's to stay anchored in who you are while you do. So this week, for your creative spark, for those who are new here, every week I set a little creative spark, you could call it a challenge. And this week, notice which of these 3 lies shows up most for you and practice answering it with the truth instead. And that's enough. Which lie is showing up for you? So I'll go over them. If I were truly talented, it wouldn't feel this hard. Lie 2, if I slow down, I'll be forgotten. And lie 3, someone else doing well means that there is less room for me. If this episode helped you feel steadier, I'm glad you're here. Follow Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you want to go deeper, Audacious Artistry, my book, is there as a longer companion to this work. And it has a group study guide. Also, go to larabiancapilcher.com/book. Grab that, pre-order now. Grab the study guide by just signing up, dropping your email there. You'll be sent it, get a group together, and this year be intentional about showing up in a healthier way, in a more sustainable way, in an audacious way. In this very saturated world, there is a way through. And before you go, if you care about wholeness beyond creativity, my husband and I also host a podcast called Marriage, Intimacy and Healing. It's for people who want beautiful conversations around marriage and connection and repair and have an actual beautiful long-term relationship. And you can find it wherever you listen to podcasts. So thank you for being here, and I will see you next week. If you are listening to this at the start of the year, Happy New Year. And I'm with you on the journey, friends. Bye for now. P.S. If you are passionate about supporting work like this, head to creativerestorationinternational.com, where you can consider becoming a monthly partner and support this podcast financially. You can do so at creativerestorationinternational.com, and in the US it's fully tax deductible as a registered not-for-profit. All right, friends, thank you for your support, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to the Healthy, Wealthy, Wise Artist podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss an inspiring conversation or actionable insight. You can read the show notes and learn more at larabiancapilcher.com. And be sure to share this episode with fellow artists who could use a little extra inspiration. Until next time, keep creating, stay audacious, and remember, your artistry matters.